What's up, folks? What's going on? Oh my god, that hat's hitting my. Oh, fuck. Uh. Hello. What's going on, everyone? Let's see where we're at out here. Oh. Still over the same one, huh? All right. Happy Monday, everyone. Sorry. I'm a whole mess tonight. I'm a whole mess tonight. Oh, hey, Carolyn. Hey, Milford. Hey, Tony. Shay, what's going on? Amethyst, beautiful. Corey, what's going on, brother? Vast. Hey, everybody, hope I didn't miss anyone. Honey, Impress. Carl, what's up, Ryan? How y'all doing today? Oh, God, I am not comfortable in my seat today. Oh, well. We will get there. We will get there. Oh, I wore my little butt out. Out there playing tennis again today. Ooh. And then had to turn around. Now I got to turn around and I got to go play again tomorrow, too. Shoot. It's like a whole day. What's up? What's up? Oh, what's up? Yes. Of course, I remember them. Tara, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Glad you enjoyed it. And like I said, the next one will be better. The next one will be even better. The next one will be even better. So we're just gonna be improving. We're just gonna be improving, yeah. Yep, I was actually just talking to my team today, talking about how we're gonna make the next episode even better. So should be exciting. Yeah, listen to Tara. I agree with Tara. And if you liked that episode, the first episode of my podcast, the next episode will be out on Friday at 7 a.m. Central. Okay. If you hated it, the first one, The second one is gonna be different than the first one, so go check that one out. This is on Friday. Whether you loved it, hated it, or were indifferent, you should watch the next one on you should watch the next one on Thursday. You know what I'm saying? Or on Friday. Sorry. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. So we were actually just talking about it. We're gonna do a few different changes for this one. That's mostly stuff y'all probably won't even notice, but there's gonna be a few different changes to the next one. So, just in that forming stage, you know. But anyways, if you still support Trump, you can join the guest request box, or you can call on the number that's above my head. Yeah, exactly, Ryan. That's exactly what I was thinking of. They either loved us or hated us or thought we were okay. Mitch Hedberg's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT for sure. Oh, he's the GOAT for sure. Is it on Sirius? No? Maybe. I honestly don't know, Dana. I don't think it is. I don't think Sirius has a podcast like platform. I don't think they do. I guess I could be wrong. All right. Well, I'm not feeling comfortable, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna switch out this hat. I'm gonna wear this hat. I'm gonna take this off. Oh. That's a little better. Oh, yeah, that's a lot better. I just want to sit back. I honestly don't know, Dana. I really don't. If you go to the link tree in my bio, the first and second tab, because I keep forgetting to take it off, are both the podcasts. So if you go and check it out, you can see all of the different platforms it's on. And it's on ones that I've never even heard of. Like, no joke. It's on ones I've never even heard of. So, and people are listening on ones that I didn't know existed, which is pretty wild. Was it supposed to have video? It does have video, but only on the platforms that allow for video right now that we're able to access. So, let me actually push this thing back up a bit. So, like Apple doesn't. We're fighting Apple right now to whoa. All right. We're fighting Apple right now to get it on there. But if you watch it on Spotify, it's on YouTube. So you can watch it over there too. Someone said, just checked, not on Sirius, but it's on Audible. Okay, well, there you go. Yeah. So it just depends on which platform you watch it on or listen to it on. Do I have a personal platform preference? I do not. I truly don't. I don't even have enough data to really I don't even have enough data to really say that I have a preference anywhere. So far I have about YouTube didn't have a video. Yes, it does. I've watched it. I looked at it myself. There's two different ones. There's one that's just there's one that's just audio, and there's another one that has full video. Yeah. So I think there's like 180 listens on the audio only. There's like 370 views on the video one, and then there's like I think like 60, 70 on Spotify, another 50, 60 on Apple. So, yeah, I personally don't have a preference. I don't care which one you listen to it on or watch it on. I just care that you do. I don't care which one you do it on. I just care that you do. That's all. You know? I think that's fair. Yeah. I do not have a preference. So, yeah. Anywho, hope y'all are having a good day. Hope y'all are having a wonderful one. We are just getting this thing started, so we're gonna. Oh, I should probably put my headphones in, huh? I should probably put my headphones in. I should probably do the things. So I'm over here just BSing. But anyways, yeah, next episode on Friday. I will not be live Thursday or Friday. I won't be live Thursday through Monday. Ash, you're in the portrait. And no, it's the other one. Yeah. You're in portrait, Ash, and no, it's the other one. Well, that's okay. I will be gone. Yeah, I'll be gone Thursday through Monday, which started as a mini vacation with the fam, and then it turned into I'll be recording episode 3 over this weekend in well, so hopefully I'll be recording episode 3. I'm supposed to be recording episode 3 this weekend. So you guys are gonna have to stay tuned and find out where that's gonna happen at. Isn't that interesting? You guys are gonna have to do that. But anyways, y'all, as you guys are coming in, please say something in the chat, hit that thumbs up button, tap that screen, do all the things. Please and thank you. Appreciate y'all. Hello, how are you?
Hello, how are you? Hey, I just wanted to say thank you for.
All right. Well, anyways, if you still support Trump, you can join the guest request box, or you can call the number that's above my head. I really appreciate you. But yeah, anyways, you guys know all the support ways, new gift gallery, all that fun stuff. Am I going to any Pride festivities this month? No, not really. No, I don't really have any planned. So, unfortunately, maybe towards the end of the month if I can. But I don't have any plans so far. Again, I have a lot of like I traveled twice last month, and then I'm traveling again this month, and I'm traveling again next month. So I am busy. Busy. That's okay. Busy. Trying not only to survive over here, but also to try to make some new and awesome content for all of you guys. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Oh, it's just a lot of stuff. I enjoy traveling. I do. I've always kind of said that. I actually like. I feel kind of almost like most comfortable like traveling. I really do. So I don't mind it. I just yeah, I don't mind it. I'm just busy. Like I said, I'm trying to bring a real good Juneteenth episode to you guys. And if it's not the episode, then it'll at least be a really good video that we'll put out. So one way or the other. One way or the other. Oh, we're off to a little bit of a slow start tonight, aren't we? We're off to a little bit of a slow start right now, aren't we? That's okay. Yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. We have a lot of, I said, a lot of new stuff showing up. A lot of new stuff coming. It's just stress going through TSA. Oh, no, it's not. I've been through TSA so many times. I've literally, I don't even bother me anymore. I went through TSA. Like, I remember one time I was going through TSA and I was traveling a lot. And I swear to God, it was like 3 months. It might have been less than that. No, it was less than that. Every single time I went through TSA, it was like 5 out of 6 times I was randomly selected for some type of like crazy ass inspection. Like they were checking my shoes and they were checking all sorts of shit. Like it was literally so bad that I was just like, I just like kind of, you know, I just kind of, you know, just built it into the time. Have I seen ice in the airports? Yes. So right after they started putting ice in airports, I mean like less than a week after, is when I went up to New York for No Kings. So yes, I did see multiple ICE officers in the airports. So yeah. So they weren't, I mean, one of them checked my ID coming out of JFK. He looked like he was about 12 years old and not amused. Like at all. I don't know if he was still, I mean, he was just really young and he was just like just stand there. Like, oh, I saw this one girl there, or there's like a couple girls that were there. And I swear to God, those girls looked like they were like in high school. I swear to God, like both of the girls that were like ICE agents in JFK, they look like they were in high school, dude. Like I was like, this is your intimidating force you got here? I don't know what to tell you. Because they look like children, bro. I was like literally just I was literally just like, wow, like okay. Women, they didn't look like women, they looked like children. I'm not sure they were 18. Like no joke. I'm not sure they were, to be completely honest with you. Like I assumed I checked their age, but I can't guarantee it. Yeah, they looked like I said, I have a daughter in high school and they looked her age. That's literally what they what they looked like. They were so young. They were so young. It was crazy. But yeah, that was flying out of JFK for the No Kings. When did we go to No Kings? Was that March? April? Something like that. I think it's April. April. And so yeah, I was just like, I don't know what they signed up to do, but I'm pretty sure it last weekend of March. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know what they signed up to do, but you could tell they weren't they were not amused by doing that. So yeah. But there was no problems in JFK when I was leaving. So remember that was also the time, that's when they put them in like checking IDs and stuff, because because they weren't paying paying TSA. So like stopped paying TSA and yeah, so they had him in there. It was a giant wait. It was stupid. Whatever. No, besides that, I haven't seen them. Yeah, besides that, I haven't seen them in any airports. That was the only time. So, but they're around. They around. So, but yeah, besides that, TSA doesn't bother me. I remember I got stopped by TSA one time. Well, like, no, it was 3 times in a row for having Pepto in my bag. Like, in the right size and everything. And they stopped me 3 times in a row for having Pepto in my bag. I just stopped carrying it. It was like literally, it was 3 times in a row. So, yeah, so I just stopped carrying it. I was like, all right, whatever. But like, you like fly like long distances, you like fly like for a long time. Like, I don't know, my stomach starts to hurt afterwards. I need Pepto. I don't know. I'm old. Liquid? Yeah, liquid. Yep, liquid. But that's not illegal. They would literally pull it out, look at it, and go, yep, that's Pepto. And they'd put it right back in my bag and let me go. Yep. That I'm telling you, it was like 3 times in the airport in a row. Like they just looked at it and they were like, oh, yep, that's Pepto, and they just let me go. But they stopped my bag every single time. But have you been strip searched with M16s pointed at you? No, I have not had that. I have not had that. No. So that would be a new one. That would be a new one. I'm assuming you have, Matt. Guys, I know you guys are giving me like advice on the Pepto. This was literally like 3 years ago. Yeah, that was like 3 years ago, guys. I've worked around it at this point. That wasn't recent. Yeah, I bet 2001 was a difficult time for anyone with a heritage from that region of the world, or that they thought had a heritage from that region of the world. They don't know. They're not too bright. So, yeah, I bet it was. You got told you're on a no-fly list. I've never had that either. I did. I a long time ago, somebody they stopped me. The police stopped me, and they asked me if I was operating under an alias, and they started asking me like all of these different aliases that they thought I might have been like operating under. And they kept going. They're like, "You ever been known as this? You ever been known as this? You ever been known as this?" Blah blah blah. And I was like, "No, no, no." And finally, they got to. And this is not. This is not a joke. So, by the way, I'm 18 years old at the time, right? I'm about 135 pounds soaking wet, right? Like little guy. And legit, they they were like, "Have you ever been known under the alias of Big Papa?" And it's like later the police are like questioning me. And I just like looked at him like dead straight, and I was just like, "Do I look like a Big Papa to you?" And they were just like, "Sorry, man, we have to ask." And I was like, "No, I have not been known as Big Papa." Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, yeah, that shit was funny, man. That shit was funny back in the day. I remember that specifically. Yeah, that shit was funny. So I remember that very specifically. Have you ever been known as Big Papa? Because I'm like 200 now, right? Like I'm right around 200. and but I was tiny back then, man. I was a little guy. Anyways, John, if y'all do me a favor, tap the screen, help with the gift goal out, send the heart me's, call, all that fun stuff. If you still support Trump, you can call on the number above my head or join the guest request box. We did have someone that joined the guest request box, but then they just whined in my chat, and I just cannot stand bringing people up that just whine in my chat after requesting. It's like, bro, don't you see? Like, you think that like I do this every day? I can't see if you requested. Like, I know if you requested. You don't have to go into my chat and start yelling, I requested. You can just put your request in, and then I'll bring you up. But if you sit in there and like go to the chat and start screaming at me saying I requested, and then like saying all this other shit, like trying to debate from the chat, then I'm just gonna like not bring you up, dude. Or I'm gonna wait like at a ridiculous, like I'm gonna waste your time like you're wasting my time reading the chat. Because I know if you act like that, you're not here to actually have a decent conversation. I know if you act like that, you're not actually here to have a decent conversation. So why would I waste my time? So I have never had somebody join my request, then start spamming my chat afterwards, and then I accepted them up and it was a good conversation. Not once. Never happened. Like, not one time. Not now, not never. It's never happened. It's actually funny. I have a bunch of stuff I could talk about too, but I don't want to talk about it. Because then I won't be able to talk about it on the podcast, and you guys will hear the same thing. So I don't want to talk about it. I have some great topics for my podcast this week. I'm not gonna lie. So, anyways, y'all, if y'all would like to support the live, I have gifts. You guys know I have super chats. You guys know I'm trying to cut out the gift gallery for these hat and mustaches. I appreciate everybody who sent them so far. They need like 6 from one person to help that out. So, just a little hint for the podcast on Friday. We're gonna talk about Kanye West. And we're going to talk about God of War. So, in case you were curious, that's a couple of the topics we're going to talk about. That's a couple of the topics I'm going to talk about. Polka, thank you so much for the 6-7. Your boy, thank you so much for the 9-11. Also, I appreciate that. Yeah, so if you're... Yeah, I don't know, Crow. We're going to talk about it, though. We're going to talk about it on the podcast. I'm going to talk about it on the podcast. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to talk about it on the podcast. So it'll be fun. And I love talking Kanye. It always does feel a little weird, like when I'm but I'm like researching Kanye and stuff, and then yeah. Kanye and what? God of War. If you're not familiar, it's a video game. It's okay. We're gonna be a little silly. The last podcast was very, very serious topics, and not that we're gonna get into some serious topics. We're gonna talk about the Iran war. We're gonna talk about Lebanon. We're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about this ceasefire. We're gonna talk about We're gonna talk about all that. We're gonna talk about serious stuff too. We're also gonna talk about Kanye West and God of War. So we're gonna have some interesting stuff. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Yeah. It's gonna be a good podcast. If you guys don't know why I'm gonna talking about God of War on the podcast, if you don't know why, then you definitely need to tune in. Because it sounds like you guys are talking about you guys are like it seems like a lot of you guys don't know why I'm talking about it. which is crazy. Can we talk about screwworms? Screwworm was actually my nickname in college. Funny enough. But yeah, maybe I'll talk a little bit about the screwworms too. So Tatted, get rid of that dude. He's annoying me now. Yeah, so yeah, maybe we'll talk about some of that too. Yeah, we could get into stuff. I gotta save some for the next week's episode, okay? I can't talk about everything. Be a 3-hour long podcast. You guys know how long I can talk? You guys know how long I can talk? I can talk for a long time. I can talk for like so long. Okay. I gotta save some for later episodes. All right. So you guys can't have me talking about every subject every week, okay? I'd be pulling one of these Joe Rogan 6-hour podcasts or whatever he's doing. Then my editing team would hate me. Well, that's the thing. If you guys love listening to me, then what you guys have to do is you guys have to listen to the podcast and support it, right? If you guys are all listening to the podcast and supporting the podcast and supporting here and doing all this other stuff so I can afford the podcast, if you guys do all that, then I can make another one, and then I can do 2 episodes a week. You see what I'm saying? And we can start expanding, right? So that's how we get to hear me more. Trump was just booed at the game. Yeah, no shit. Like, I heard he was going. Of course he's gonna get booed at the game. Yeah. So check it out. Check out here. I'm sorry. I know you guys are like all about. I don't. It's just, yeah. Obviously that was gonna happen before. Like, you know. Like, obviously that was gonna happen. Obviously that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. New York always hates Trump. I don't know why he decided to show up to that. Like, why would he even show up to that? That's the bigger question. I don't even know why he would show up. Like, that shows you just how dumb he is. Yeah, like, cool. You get to spend more of our taxpayer dollars just so you can get booed again. Like, I don't. And he doesn't know ball. Like, he doesn't know ball. Like, he doesn't. Have you ever heard him try to talk it? He doesn't know anything about it. He doesn't know football. He doesn't know basketball. He doesn't know any of this shit. He just keeps showing up to these sporting events and pretending like he knows what's going on, and he doesn't. So, I don't know. Jen, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, how is Scarlett doing? Scarlett? I don't know who Scarlett is. So, sorry, Jen. Maybe I'm missing something there. But thank you, Jen. I appreciate you. I just don't know who you're referring to as Scarlett. But anyways, yeah, I don't know why he showed up to this thing. You said Mom Donnie was like relentlessly questions. That doesn't surprise me. Trump is there for attention and we continue to give it to him every goddamn day. I don't. Like, I wasn't even gonna, like, I didn't care about watching him get booed. Like, who gives a shit about that? No, don't bother me. That's why I didn't even tune in. Like, oh, cool, he's getting booed. Like, I don't know. But that's me personally, I guess. I don't care. So, but you're speaking about him. It's Youre. It's you are, but you're speaking about him. Okay, thank you. I'm just saying, if you're gonna try to correct me, you should probably do it in like, but you know, in U.S. English. So yeah, you should probably do it in U.S. English. I'm thinking about him to try to stop him. I don't care about him outside of that. I don't listen to his speeches most of the time. Like I rarely even do. Thank you so much, Cindy, for the GOAT trophy. I usually just read the transcripts. So oh my God, what is going on over here? There we go.
Yo, what's up, man? How are you?
Oh, Jen, the cat's name is Safari. You were asking about Safari. Safari is doing much better. Her blood pressure is going down. It's not at the correct spot yet, and her eye is getting much better. Thank you for asking, Jen. It's Safari. Okay, now I'm with you. Hi, how old are you?
I'm 19.
Awesome. You still support Trump?
I do support Donald Trump, yes.
Why is that?
Yeah, I guess it'd be like some social issues, you know, preventing like or at least like not giving gender affirming care to children, keeping men out of women's sports. He's typically in favor of reducing the number of elective abortions. I guess those are like just like reasons counted in favor of why
What's an elective
I support.
abortion?
What do you mean? What's an elective abortion?
Yeah, like medically speaking, what is an elective abortion?
Elective abortion would just be, you know, this individual going with this commitment of terminating pregnancy, allowing for this to happen.
Wrong. Yeah, that's not even close. Yeah. You can have a medical necessity and it's still an elective abortion. Yeah. There's like so many ways it could be
I
elective.
know, but I just said there's like the majority of them are not like, you know, it's usually just the individual wanting to get it because they
So
want to
what?
get it. They weren't raped. They weren't you
So
know.
what?
Yeah, I'm against that.
Why?
Oh yeah, because I think there's a trait that's true of the zygote at the moment of conception.
Why?
That's also true of us humans. And then that trait. What do you mean? Why? I'm explaining the first why that you gave me. So,
Okay, well, sorry,
and
I
then that
meant
trait would
what?
just
I
be,
apologize.
yeah,
What's the
that's what I
trait?
was getting to.
Yeah.
The trait would just be a teleological predicate of rationality, and all that means is that
Oh, you're a
this
Phil,
thing has a
bro.
biological function. What? No, I'm not.
Yeah, you
It's
are.
just a debate.
Anyways, you means what, sir?
Yeah. So it just means that this thing has some sort of like end goal. This thing has some sort of. It's like, you know, true of the human nature, right?
Yeah,
As humans, we try to flourish.
yeah, you're just talking about just what the
Yeah, more.
possibility of it developing into something else. That's all you're talking about.
Oh no, that's flow. I don't run flow.
That's exactly what you just said. Yeah.
No, I just
But
said a
anyway, sir.
teleological
So can
predicate
I
of
ask you a better
rationality.
question?
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, oh, sorry. May I ask you a question first?
Yeah, you can ask me a question.
Sure. Are you trans?
No, I'm not trans. No.
All right, perfect. Can you get pregnant?
Can I get pregnant?
No.
No, I'm not. I cannot
Gotcha.
get pregnant.
So the only reasons in which you, for the reasons that you support Donald Trump, are all things that have nothing to do with you and do not help you in any way, shape, or form. Correct?
I think that's like a bad way to frame it. You want
I
to
don't
know
care whether
why?
you think it's a bad way to frame it. I'm asking you a question. It seems like the only things, because Donald Trump, is in control of the
Yeah, I'll
economy.
answer your
Hold on,
question,
sir.
and then I have like a counter question that would
Sure,
also like
that's
commit
fine.
you to the
So Donald
vehicle.
Trump is control of the economy. He's completely destroying it right now. That affects you. You don't care. He's literally sending us to war right now, which is raising all of our prices, killing American citizens. That affects you. You don't care, right? He's literally taking human beings off the street, denying them due process. That could take away the due process of of any American citizen if they're able to be detained without any type of constitutional due process. That could easily affect you. You don't care about that. The only things that you care about are trans people, right? Which you said about women playing in men's sports or men playing in women's sports. It's always men playing in women's sports. You never care about the other thing, even though that's the majority of people of trans people that play sports. The overwhelming majority are actually trans men, people who are born women and transitioned, to men. So the other way around, right? But you don't care about that, right? You only care about the one very little tiny specific part that doesn't affect you whatsoever because you're not trans and obviously you're not an athlete, right? So it doesn't affect you at all. And then you care about abortions, which you can't have one, right? So I just find it really, really surprising that for a 19-year-old person who has their entire future ahead of them, who literally, where Donald Trump is making decisions, right, especially as far as war and stuff, that are going to have repercussions on everything that happens in the United States for a long time, for decades to come, that the only thing you care about is a bunch of non-issues like trans people or things that don't affect you, about as opposed to everything else that you actually, could be upset about.
Yeah, I guess I can like attack all those points at the same time. So just because these things aren't something that affect me directly, it can definitely affect me like mentally. Insofar as like, well, I know these things are happening, right? I know there's a bunch of abortions happening, and that can affect me mentally. Insofar as like, yeah, well, how many female athletes can I name? Probably none, right? I mean, probably a few. But the same question can be posed onto you, like for example, oh well, how many people do you know that died in the Holocaust or something? Just because you don't know anyone and it didn't affect you personally, right? It's clearly something that you can acknowledge was wrong.
I can acknowledge that it's wrong, but I can't do anything to affect the past. We're not talking about something that's in the past. We're talking about something that is
Yeah, it's
happening in the
something that's
present.
happening right
We are
now.
talking about something that's happening in the present, right? If I vote in this election, then I'm stopping the negative things that are happening to me
Yeah.
right now, right? With the correct Congress that's coming in, I can stop that. No matter who I vote for come November, zero chance of stopping the Holocaust. Right.
Yeah,
So
so
what I'm saying
would you
in
agree that we're
November, when
both
November comes up or 2028 comes up, you have the ability to affect things, right, that actually affect you right now. But as opposed
yeah,
to
we're
that,
both
you are
yeah.
voting in favor of things for the sole reason of things that have no effect on you whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
And especially as far as the trans thing is a non-issue.
Wait, would you agree that right now we're against like we're anti-genocide, both of us, right?
No, just me.
Okay, fine, just you for the sake of this, even though I am. But it's like
No, you're not.
we can acknowledge that it's wrong what's happening to, Palestinian children, right, in Gaza.
No, we
Just because we
can't.
don't know the
I
name.
can. Yeah.
No. Well, I do acknowledge that it's wrong.
Oh.
Why are you making my position for me?
Well, because you're still supporting Donald Trump as you said that you did,
Yeah,
and you
there's other
support Donald
reasons.
Trump,
Like,
and
I can just like maximize.
Donald Trump is currently helping to fund that genocide, who's literally giving weapons to fund that genocide,
Yeah.
and you still support it. Then no, you don't. Either you don't care about genocide, right, or it's a non-issue for you, right? You're willing to accept a genocide in order to push your trans agenda.
No, no. So I can just like use like some sort of utilitarian basis on this, right? Saying that, all right, well, he's doing this wrong, but he's doing this right. He's doing this wrong and this right. And ultimately, you count in favor of like all the things that he does wrong and then all the things that he does right. Is that like a sticker of you? That's kind of cool. So all the things that he does wrong and all the things that he does right, you can say, oh, well, the set of things that he does right outweighs the set of things that he does wrong, right?
Correct, sir. That's exactly the point I just made. Thank you.
Yeah, so
You are
that's like
saying if
reasons
you
into
weigh all the things that he's done wrong and all the things that he's done right, all right, you are now saying that genocide, right, which he's helping to commit, right,
that's wrong.
is somehow overtaken, is less important, okay, than the no abortion policy that he's passed, because he's passed zero abortion policy, right, and the
No,
one trans
Roe v.
executive
Wade.
order. He did not pass a policy for Roe v. Wade. What did Donald Trump
Well,
did
he
not?
didn't
I'm sorry.
pass it, but he
Okay, then what
was
are we talking about? Oh, he did
it
not pass,
passing was a
sir.
result of
He
his.
did not pass he did not pass a singular policy when it came to abortion, not a singular one. And if you're saying that he had the claim that he put in judges that then did it, right? That's fine. That's still not a reason to support him in this election because he can't reappoint those judges. Those judges are already in there, and those judges are there for life.
Well, you asked why I support him in general.
So Donald Trump has no policy on abortion. He has one executive order when it comes to trans people. And due to all of that, you believe that that is more important than him funding a genocide. So therefore, you are culpable in that genocide.
Well, those can just be reasons in favor of why I support him, which is your question, right? It's like, oh, why do you support him? Like, obviously we acknowledge that the mustache man was a bad man, right? But suppose that he did something good. Suppose, like, hypothetically, I don't even know if this is true. that he funded, I don't know, something for dogs who have cancer, and then you said, "Oh, why do you support him?" That could be one reason why I support him. That doesn't mean I support him in general, right? That could just be like a reason as to why I support him, right? In this case, I'm giving you reasons as to why I support Donald Trump.
Yeah. So here's how it would start. Sir, do you support Hitler?
No.
Okay, see how easy that was? See, now you can say, oh, there was one little thing in there that you can say that you like, but you started with a lack of support for him as in general.
Wait, but there's a difference in the question.
No. The reason why you start with that, because you don't support a horrifically bad person who's doing horrifically bad things, right? See, you looked at Donald Trump, a horrifically bad person doing horrifically bad things, and you start with the fact that you support him. That was the first question I asked you was, do you support him? Yes, you support him. And now you're naming the reasons why you support the horrifically bad person doing horrifically bad things. Okay. So that's how that works. So you're trying to like go around this and try to take, big around the bush, try to, jump through all these little hoops to go like, oh, well, it's kind of like this. No, it's not like that, sir. It's not
No,
like
I was
that at
listing
all.
characteristics that would be like true of him that can be typically in favor of supporting, right? It
Do we
doesn't
have evidence that
necessitate that you have
do
to
we have
support the
evidence
individual
that
itself.
do we have evidence that Donald Trump is paid for an abortion?
We have evidence that he has paid for an abortion.
Do we have it?
I don't.
Sorry. The
I don't
answer
know.
is
Do we?
yes. Yes, we actually have very good evidence to say that he has, right? So we can actually look at his on his feelings towards abortion and his back and forth when he's literally talked about, how he was actually for abortion, then not for abortion, not for abortion. He bounced back and forth. I remember 3 times in about 4 or 5 days in Florida, right? Where he bounced back and forth on whether a 6-week abortion ban was actually too much or too little or just about right. He kept changing his thing. And the reason for that is because Donald Trump doesn't actually care about abortion. Donald Trump cares about people that care about abortion and manipulating them into agreeing with him, right? That's how he's gotten this entire evangelical Christian side of the church to support him, which is crazy because abortion did like the Southern Baptist Church and the majority of Protestant churches in the United States didn't even have a stance on abortion before the 1970s. It wasn't until pretty much like segregation and stuff started to end that they needed to start controlling people again, right? But Donald Trump has used that, even though we have evidence very specifically that he doesn't really give too much of a shit about abortion, right? But he tells you that he did. But he's had a Republican Congress. He has a full Republican Congress and and he's a Republican president. Right now, they could attempt to pass like a nationwide abortion ban. Hasn't tried to, right? Hasn't tried to pass a single abortion piece of legislation in the federal government. But you give him credit for appointing people that he had to appoint that made a decision outside of him that he takes credit for, and that's what you support him for 8 years later, like whatever. 7 years later, whatever he supported him.
That's a pretty cool theory. I don't think I've heard that one before. This idea that, Trump doesn't actually care about pro-life, but rather he just cares about the individuals who do care about pro-life just to gain their vote. I don't know if you have like an argument for that.
I just made one, but I can make a better one for you if you want. The fact that the entire
seems like
point
a
of this
fool.
thing was to get evangelicals on his side, even though Donald Trump has said specifically that he's not a Christian, that he's not asked for forgiveness for anything, that he can't name a single Bible verse and he can't name a single book of the Bible, right? He has made it very clear. Whenever he's talked about abortion, he is always doing it at Christian events, almost completely like just at Christian events, right? He specifically does things and says things, right, to Christians that he thinks that they want to hear. Okay. So when he does things like the abortion thing, he put in Republican justices. He was going to put in those Republican justices, and no matter who was the president, they were going to put in those Republican justices, right? And those Republican justices all claimed before they were put in that was not their primary thing. So according to them, according to what Donald Trump put in, it was not their primary thing to make any type of, change of precedent towards abortion, right? But then the Supreme Court goes and does things, and Donald Trump takes credit for what the Supreme Court does. Now, when those same Supreme Court justices that he put in, right? Those same Supreme Court justices that he puts in, right? Go and do completely other things. You know what I'm saying? Do things that they say the things that he does are illegal, they're anti-constitutional, which they are. Then he calls them idiots. He says he doesn't know what they're talking about, right? So even though like they're the judges that he appointed, now all of a sudden he's separated from their decision making. So why do you give him credit right, for the Supreme Court justice's decision making when he doesn't even give himself credit for the Supreme Court's decision making. Because if it applies to one,
Yeah.
it should apply to all of their rulings, correct?
Yeah, I guess we can attack those points one by one. So for the first point you made, and you gave like reasons in favor of why it is the case that you believed that your theory was true, that he doesn't actually care about, reducing abortions, but rather just gaining the individuals who are in favor of reducing abortions votes. Um, I saw like the reasons you gave, and I don't think that those reasons have any sort of like normative force in order for me to lend credence in favor of the hypothesis with respect to the posterior probability. So I think like if there was like reasons, that actually raised, the probability of it, right? So if we said the a priori probability was just going to be like 50-50, whether or not this theory is true or not. Well, technically, if it's a theory, then the probability has credence below 0.5. So you would actually have to give a lot of like,
You are saying
normative force in
nothing.
order.
Are you going to get to a point?
Yeah, I'm trying to explain that to you.
Yeah. No, can
So
you just get to the point? Because like I know, like
yeah, I
maybe
just don't think that those
no,
reasons.
maybe in your high school debate club, like all the like random words and like all the probabilities and all these little like debate terms, maybe they were really important in
I'm
your
just
high
like
school
rendering
debate
like a
club.
Bayesian
But yeah,
argument.
that's fine. Okay. Here on my live, we just talk in normal language for normal people to understand normal conversations and normal things that are going on in reality, right? We are talking about an important thing right now, right? The thing that we are talking about is Donald Trump as it relates to abortion. That is a very important thing, okay? And
Yeah.
while I understand what you're trying to say, here it's much better if we talk in just normal everyday language for everybody to understand us. Because if you're trying to talk at a level in which most people do not understand what's going on, which is what you're doing, right? You're not talking in any type of verbiage or parlance that is actually like used in everyday language for people. Then it doesn't matter, and it makes you honestly, just to be completely honest with you, it makes you sound like you're trying to sound smart when you don't know what you're talking about. That's what it makes you sound like.
Yeah.
You might actually have a good argument to this, but I'm letting you know that the way that you're speaking, right, the language and the parlance in which you're speaking, all right, makes you sound like you're just trying to do a word salad to avoid my question. So
Yeah,
how
I
about
mean,
we just
I can
talk in
explain it
how
to you.
about we just
Yeah.
talk in everyday language, and then maybe you actually have a good point to point out, okay?
Yeah, suppose it's the Oscars and it's like 10 different movies and one of them is going to win the best picture, right? And you said, "Oh, well, I believe that this specific movie is going to win the best picture or it's not going to win the best picture." Now, it doesn't mean that there's a 50% chance that that movie is going to win the best picture because it's either the case that it is going to win the best picture or it's not going to win the best picture because there's 9 other movies it's competing against. So, the a priori probability, that means the beginning probability can only be 10% if we're like lending it equally before like, any reasons that count in favor of why this has a higher probability. Now, I feel like the justification that you gave for why you don't think that Trump actually cares about abortion can raise the probability of like what you're saying, but I don't think it's enough to satisfy over 50% to where we typically should believe that your theory is true. As opposed to like, because you're already assuming that there's some sort of like 50% probability that it's true
No
even
matter.
before you gave reasons.
Does Donald Trump care about stopping abortion? Okay, first of all, you said that he cares about reducing abortion. Did Donald Trump reduce abortions?
Yeah, I think that when you look at the
Incorrect. No,
numbers,
ever
I can
since Roe v.
explain it.
Wade. No, it doesn't. You can't explain. You're going to explain away the data that says that
Yeah,
abortions have risen. That are
yeah,
higher
I can.
every single year since Roe versus
Yep.
Wade was overturned
Hmm.
than before.
Yeah,
Please do. Yeah.
yeah. So, essentially, when we look at the numbers of the first 4 years after it was overturned, as opposed to the first 4 years that Roe v. Wade was put into place, then yeah, there's a less number of abortions, in contrast to the population of women that exist. Now, I hear what you're saying. You're saying that if we use the prior 4 years, as opposed to the first 4 years of it being overturned, then there is an increase in the number with respect to the amount of women that exist. Yeah, that's true. But there's also this thing about, oh, well, this specific thing happens. Now, women react a certain way because there's this like new information that they just received. It's like the same way if you knew that, all right, well, next week there's going to be a massive snowstorm, right? And people are going to have to stay in their homes. Well, now you're going to go out to the grocery store and buy like a bunch of stuff, right? Because you know that you're going to be stuck at home, right? So now if you look at the grocery sales, if you look at the grocery sales in that store,
This is by far the dumbest
yeah.
comparison I've ever heard in my
So
entire
the
life.
grocery sales in that store prior to them saying that there was going to be a snowstorm was X amount. And then after they gave that information, now there's an increase in that amount because of that, right? So the increase is
No,
only
not
happening
right.
as a
This is
reaction
so
that women
dumb.
have towards the new information that they receive.
This is so dumb.
How so?
Is the number of abortions per year higher after Roe versus Wade or lower? That's all I want you to answer.
If you're are you comparing like the entire like 49 years of Roe v. Wade as opposed to the first 4 years?
The first
Because then the
49? No,
cardinality.
let's take the last 10 on a per year basis,
Yeah,
per capita.
yeah. I said there's like a reaction that women have towards like new
Is it
information that they
higher
receive.
or lower?
The number is higher with
The
respect to the
number
amount
is
of women
higher.
that
So when
exist.
you said that Donald
Yeah.
Trump tried to reduce abortion, Donald Trump, if he tried to reduce abortions, he failed miserably. He did not reduce abortions. Okay, he did not do that
No,
in any
but here's
way,
like
shape, or form. So now, not only are you giving Donald Trump to credit for his feelings, right? Because you're saying you believe that his feeling is that he's against abortion, even though we have evidence against that. So it doesn't really make much of a point.
well, that's
But
actually
on top
well.
of
You
that,
remember the
now
first
you're
claim I made though?
now you're giving him credit for. Okay, now you're giving him credit for reducing abortions when he didn't even do that, right? So on both cases, you're wrong. Okay, but like I started this conversation with before. Okay, we
Okay.
can go into this, and this is like, and I want to be very, very honest with you. Okay, I want to be very, very honest with you. Okay, I think that you're making good points here, and you're not. Okay, I just want to be very clear here. Okay, you think that you're doing great here, and you're truthfully not. And I'm not even trying to do that to like be rude. Okay, but I called you out as a Phil bro before you even started this thing. Okay, this is just two people supposedly having a conversation. This is not, again, your high school debate club. Okay, and you're using so many words that literally I think that you're trying to make points, but literally it's dragging on so long that you're not even getting to the point that you're trying to make. So let's be very
No,
clear.
I am.
Second of all, okay, like I stated before. Okay. This comes down to one thing and one thing only. One thing and that's it. Okay? And that is that you can never have an abortion. All right? And so therefore, I don't really give too much of a shit about your opinion on abortions, okay? Because it's detrimental to a woman's body, what can kill a woman, what women live within their bodies for the rest of their lives, okay, due to being pregnant, you will never experience. All right? And you trying to say that for some reason you, Mr. 19-year-old, very, very, very young man, barely a man, yet just became a man, right? Legally, right? Person, to say that you know more about what's going on in a woman's body, where you need to be able to make a decision, and that you believe that you have the right to take that decision away from women, as if women can't make that decision on their own, right? I think is very disgusting and very, very wrong, right? I don't think that I should have that power, but I sure as hell don't think you should have that power to be able to do that. All right. And
So infertile
especially
women can't speak on it.
especially when, I'm sorry?
Infertile women cannot speak on this either.
Can infertile women? I don't care which women do it, sir. You know you know what the women that I care about is that's speaking on it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the woman that is pregnant, that's making the hardest decision of her life with her doctor and her partner, if she so chooses, in order to make literally what is going to be the hardest decision of their life. Okay?
Or man,
if you're infertile, okay, then I don't care if you want to have your opinion on it, but you can just keep that opinion to yourself because you're not
but why do
making
you
that
keep
decision.
using?
That's totally
Wait,
fine.
you keep saying woman like you don't believe that men can't get pregnant. You do believe men can get pregnant.
If a man gets pregnant, that's fine too. Whoever's pregnant can make that decision on their own.
Okay.
Why do you think, Mr. 19-year-old barely lived at all, right? Why do you think that you get to help a woman that you've never met make a decision, the hardest decision of their life? Why do you think that you get to interject yourself in between a full-grown woman and her doctor?
Yeah, because I give moral value to the zygote.
Because you give moral value. And coach, so let me ask you a better question. Why the fuck do you think that woman who's making the hardest decision of her life with her doctor gives a fuck what you give moral credence to?
Yeah, so I don't think that they have to give a care about what I
Great.
value.
I agree too. I also agree that they don't have to give any moral credence.
But I can give normative force in favor of why we should give value to this thing.
I don't care. If you want to give value to it, then keep it to yourself.
No, I'm saying that
Sir,
I can also give reasons I can give reasons to why we should value it. Not just why I value it arbitrarily.
If you value it, that's fine. I'm not stopping you from.
No, not just arbitrarily. I can give reasons like normative force in favor of why
you're
we
going to
ought
tell
value
me why
this thing.
I care about something.
I'm going to tell you why you should.
You can give me evidence on why I care about something. Well, then let
why
me give
you should care.
Then let me give you some better evidence on why you should care about something, right? If you're going to tell me what I should care about, then I'm going to tell you what you should care about. You are 19 years old, okay? And you are closer to going to war and being drafted than any time in my fucking life. To go fight a war, all right, for another country, all right, that does not give a shit if you live or die, that we are spending billions of tax dollars on, right? You are this close, okay? You are this much, like I am got to be 40 years old, okay? And I have never been as close as you are right now to being drafted for a war that you don't care about whatsoever, okay? That's what you're dealing with right now. You are dealing with natural gas prices and oil prices that are going to be skyrocketing for the next 10 years. You're 19, and unless you're like a little Nepo baby or something
Okay, wait.
like that, right?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
I don't, no, you're not telling me anything. Unless you're like a little Nepo baby, then guess what? You're going to have to deal with those prices. I've already lived a lot of my life. I pretty much, have things figured out. And I'm going to be able to handle it a lot better than most people are. Now, granted, maybe you just have a bunch of money. So I'm going to tell you that these are things that you should actually be cared about. And what you're doing is you're allowing an 80-year-old man, all right, that does not care about you, all right, that is literally raising your prices, that is doing things that are going to make it harder for you to ever buy a house, for you to ever have a family, for you to ever do any of that. And that 80-year-old man has convinced you that instead of caring about all of those things that are going to affect you forever, that you should care about trans people and what women are doing with their bodies. Okay, that's what I think that you should care about. I think that you should care about that so much more than just being involved in everybody's life. Because again, you're not trans, and again, you can't get pregnant. So instead of just being concerned with what everybody else is doing with their body, then why don't you just worry more about what you're doing with your body?
Okay. Yeah. So that's cool. So
it is
one thing
cool.
I do want to.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's like so much. It's so cool. It is
Well,
like the coolest thing in the world to mind your own fucking business. It's like one of the coolest things in the world is to mind your own business. Like honestly, like it is like one of probably the coolest thing that's ever existed is just like worrying about your own body and not everybody else's,
Okay, so you did say that I'm closer to getting drafted than you have ever been in your entire life. I'll tell you what, if I get drafted as a result of something that Trump does, I'll stop supporting Trump.
It's too late by then.
Yeah, it's fine. So right now I'm not drafted as a result of what Trump did, so I'll continue to support him. But now the second point that you made, you said that I shouldn't be caring about this thing. Well, it seemed like you kind of like reiterated the exact same point that you made in the beginning because, oh, well, you're not trans and you're not a woman and you're not X, Y, and Z or whatever. Therefore, you cannot get pregnant. Therefore, you should not care about this thing. Well, it's not that I told you many times already that what I care about is this thing that has like, a trajectory towards higher rationale. Whereas like, a mother can go and unalive her children somewhere in like Utah, right?
But does it have high rationale?
It has a trajectory towards high rationale.
Yes or no? Does it have it?
At the current moment, the zygote, no, does not have.
Gotcha. So if it doesn't have it, then it doesn't matter.
No. So listen, it does matter. It does matter because one thing. Wait, there's a trait that's true of it, and me and
literally just making a future potential argument. That's all you're making, dude. Yeah,
that's flow.
I understand. I understand that you're trying to talk around it like you're not. Okay, that's all you're making. You're making a future potential argument, and you're trying to say other words as if you're not making it. That's all you're doing, dude. You're
that's flow.
Yes, I've heard you say that's flow like 9 times, dude. I don't care what you want to call it. That's what it is.
Wait, there's a non-flow. There's a non-flow reasoning as well. There's a trait that's true of it.
Go touch grass and realize that this shit doesn't affect you, dude. You are 19 years old. This is not your high school debate club, and I am not here for it.
Wait, I know, but like for example, a mother can like unalive like her entire can like let's suppose like a father unalived his wife and all his children. We're in Utah, and I had no. It still affects once I see it on the news.
Then get a fucking therapist.
Wait, you don't care about that?
No, get a therapist. Go find someone who does. I don't care what if you watch the news and you are so overly affected by it that you are distraught, then please go get a therapist. Okay? Then please, first of all, everybody go get a therapist. Okay? First of all, everybody go get a therapist. But that guy, go get 2 and pay them extra and tip well. All right? And tip really, really well. Y'all, thank you guys so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you guys. God, it is just so annoying to listen to Phil Bro 19-year-olds try to give rationale arguments for abortion. Like, it is just, I'd rather stab myself in my own ear than hear it. It is so crazy. It is so out of touch with reality. It is so literally just out of touch with reality, is it not? Just absolutely crazy. Y'all, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. We're going to move on to the next guest. If you still support Trump, you can call in on the number that's above my head, or you can join the guest request box. And yeah, we'll keep this thing going. If you guys like support, like I said, I do have the hat and mustaches over on the gift goal, trying to get 6 of those from one person, clear that out of the gift gallery on a Monday, since I'm only on for 3 days this week. So I could really, really love to clear that thing early. I really appreciate you guys. Also, y'all, please tap that screen, send the heart me's, all that fun stuff. I also have super chats if you're over on YouTube, and I really appreciate it. I like to read all of those and give a thank you for all those before I move on to the next caller. Cindy and Janelle, thank you so much for the gifts. Shay, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. I really appreciate it. Say, hey, Paulie, I'm wishing you all the best with your podcast. Thank you so much. Go watch the podcast, y'all. Episode 1 out last Friday. Episode 2 will be out this Friday, 7 a.m. Central. Go check it out. Love you guys. Amy, thank you so much for the $2. I enjoyed your first podcast. Again, see, people say they love the podcast. Go check it out. Trippy, thank you so much for the gold coin. John said, shut him down with the jibber jabber. Yeah, thank you so much, John, for the $20 super chat. Huge substitute chat for John and Shay for the big super chats there. I appreciate you. User, thank you so much for the clapping seals. Sam, thank you so much for the $5. Said, holy yap, this kid is a prime example of using word salad to sound like an intellectual to grift to other idiots who can't see through his BS. Dude, I was trying to let him talk. I was really trying to let him talk, but I was like, dude, you're not even saying anything. Like, he truly wasn't saying anything. Insane. He was just saying words. And I guess he figured if he said enough of them, then he was going to get to a point like, bro, I got other people to get to, man. It is crazy. Janelle, your boy, and Julio, thank you so much. Cindy, thank you so much for the GOAT trophy. Really appreciate that. Chester, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. W's to Polly and chat. Thank you so much, Chester. And Zoe, thank you so much for the happy poop. I appreciate you also. I'm just trying to sound smart for no reason. It's such a waste of time, bro. Oh my God, work. Oh, Missy was in here. Sorry, Missy. Were you trying to request up to talk to that last guy? I can bring you up for a sec. Hey, I assume you were trying to talk to that last guy. My bad. I didn't see you.
No, it's okay. I'm such a huge fan of yours. I'm so glad I caught the end of that because you were saying all the perfect things to him. I mean, he's obviously been infiltrated by the Debate Me bros. Like, he just wanted to talk about sentient and this and that. And instead of really listening to the fact that it affects women in such a bigger way than having control, right?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I've had much better conversations about this, but it's just such a waste of time when it's talking to somebody like that. I don't know. It doesn't.
Well, it's not a 19-year-old young man, right? So we're talking about right now, women are fully being attacked about when it comes to abortion, healthcare. We're talking about, IVF and then what they want to pass in North Carolina. I mean, this is a real topic. And, when it comes to these right-wing Debate Me bros who just want to have control over women's uterus, like, it's not going to happen. Like, I'm not even going to have a conversation with you. That's why I kind of just, if you were going to bring me up, I was just going to say to him, like, okay, so let's do mandatory vasectomies, bro. You're 19, get in line. Like, I'm sure you have yet to even see a woman. I'm sure you have yet to even experience anything like that. You know what I mean? So if you're all for control, 100% of ABs are preventable with vasectomies. So let's just talk about that. You want to save all the babies? Then let's get vasectomies. It's that simple.
I don't even remember who I saw. I don't remember if it was Amanda or if it was Comrade. I don't remember who I first heard that argument from, like 2 years ago. It's been crazy. But yeah, I brought that one up like plenty of times. And it's crazy how it actually, so like like I don't know how they even like watch me, whatever. I've had a vasectomy. I fell asleep during mine. It's really not that serious. Like I literally, they had to wake me up. They were like, hey, like you can't like be asleep for this. So like I'm like all for it. Like I mean, I think it solves
Perfect. You
like
should be the
some problems.
spokesperson
Dude,
then,
I
Polly. You
will
should be
put
the
me on the billboards.
spokesperson.
Put me on the billboards, dude. I will be
For real,
I,
though. I honestly, though, I think we should do mandatory vasectomies, and we have to start with all the boiled chicken magamen first. Let's get them out of the way, because more than likely they're not financially or mentally stable enough in order to have children. But I'm just saying, this whole discussion is so much bigger than people realize. It isn't about just AB; it's about AB care.
It really is. It really is. And like I said, like as a girl dad, you know what I'm saying? These are things like we seriously have to deal with, because I live in a red state. One with a very short abortion ban in my state, and
Same.
down here in Florida, and so like these are real things that have to happen. Like we deal with these.
Wait, are you in Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in Florida too.
Woohoo!
Oh, okay. So we're living in the Wild West together. Got it.
Yes. But, it's funny how many leftist critters are in Florida. It's really wild. But we're here in Florida, and so like it's crazy, because it is such a big deal that like I remember like when this thing started passing, like I had to sit down and have a conversation with my daughter's mom and be like, okay, so what are we doing? Like, if something happens, like, what's our escape plan? Like, where can we actually get her like healthcare? Like and like I said, like, luckily for me, like I live in I live in a place of privilege where if something was to happen to my daughter and she needed that type of care, that I can get her to where she needs to go, But like not everybody has that ability, not everybody has that
Right.
that privilege to be able to to jump on a plane and go go handle whatever needs to be handled, go get her seen by a specialist or whatever. And it's really a shame, because especially down here in Florida, depending on where you're at in Florida, I mean, you're the closest state that doesn't have an abortion ban is what, like Virginia? Is that correct?
Say that again. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm saying the closest place that you can actually go for abortion care if you live in Florida is, I believe, Virginia.
Well, there are still clinics here. So actually, I don't know if you know of the so there's a clinic in Orlando. I just went and visited with them. They're the escorts. They're called the Central Florida Swans.
I've seen
And
them.
so
Yeah.
so I just went and hung out with them. They are the coolest chicks ever, and what they do is so incredible. It's actually the clinic I had to seek care from many moons ago. So it's like, that's why AB care is such a big topic of mine. I feel like it's so important to talk about it. But a lot of places, if your doctor finds out or whoever finds out and you're past that 6 week to 8 week mark, that's where it gets really sticky in our state. And I foresee it if who I'm thinking is going to become the next governor, I think it's going to be really, really bad.
Yeah, I see it too getting worse, unfortunately. I try to get the fuck out of this state, to be completely honest with you.
I know, and everybody always says that. They're like, just get out of Florida. I wish it was that easy.
It's not that easy.
It's not even that I love it here, to be honest with you. I grew up here my whole entire life. I'm in a very country bumpkin area, so I'm a blue dot, lots of boiled chicken around me, and that's fine. But it's that so much is changing so quickly. And I don't know if you've seen, like, not to be just like on the Florida train, but like the public schools are closing at such a high rate right now. My children are disabled, and they are within the ESE programs, and they're just being gutted all over the place. And these schools are just closing at a rate that I'm going, well, what other options are there going to be? Like what else are we going to have when all of these public schools keep closing, and then they force us into vouchers that won't even withstand 1 year. And that's if they choose my kids, because, with public schools and charter schools, they can pick and choose. Whichever, I don't know. Florida is just the wild, wild west. So every day I'm like, okay, where's our money going except for helping us? Where are they funneling our money to?
I think it's closed 2 or 3 elementary schools, like in my county just recently. Like, or they're closing. Yeah, they closed them after this last year.
Right.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
We might have somebody to have a conversation with. Do you want to hang out for a bit?
Oh, sure, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Before we do that, Chris, thank you so much for the $40 over on the Blue app. I really appreciate it. Said, you're my audio while I have the NBA Finals on mute. No leaving early. And correct about the B-Day, consider a B-Day joke. I've seen younger faces on cash. Yeah. Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate that. W's in the chat for Chris. We'll see who we got over here. See who we got. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
How old am I?
Yes, sir.
Oh, 35.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I wasn't really calling about that. I was calling
Oh.
to say I'm curious why I got muted on your live chat. I didn't say anything wrong.
I don't know, dude. I don't mute people.
I'm muted. That was honestly all I was just calling to ask. I mean, I don't know if all I said was I don't know if maybe this was interpreted wrong. I don't know if you have an admin or something. All I said was I think you're wasting your time with what you're doing. I think you're a really smart guy, and you can actually make a difference. I'm not no, and I don't mean it. Hold up, because it could sound disrespectful. I swear I don't mean it in a disrespectful way.
I don't.
To me,
I'm not taking it disrespectfully.
you come off like a guy. To me, you come off like the type of guy that could really do like something big. I don't know if you are in the back. I don't know if you are in the background. Maybe you are. Maybe you do some type of work on a local level with your government or something like that. But I just got this feeling like you can. You're a very smart guy, educated guy. You know the policies in and out. You got people that like to listen to you. You know, I don't always agree with everything you say, but I would never try to debate with you because you're a very smart individual. And I don't do the debate thing like my 19-year-old Hunter does. He's not. I don't know him, but he was just trying his hardest. But I respect that he was trying his hardest. You know, he was trying for 19. He's probably gonna have to wait another 10 years to try again at you. But that's all I said on on the thing.
You've been unmuted. Okay, so don't. You're good now, man. Ari already unmuted you. You're good to go.
All right. Thank you, man. That's all I was calling about. All right.
No worries, man. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Hey, it's all good. Sometimes people get sometimes people just get muted. Sometimes people just get muted. Hello, how are you?
Hello. I was going to ask, what are your thoughts on the Carmelo Anthony case?
I don't have any.
Oh, you don't?
Nope.
Well, then I guess I'll respond to what the other caller was talking about, the abortion thing. It's not about controlling women at all. It's about having moral, compasses, right? Because a lot of people like to wait until all the baby's already fully developed to where it's able to feel and everything, right? And then say, oh, I want to get the abortion now, when it's already
that doesn't happen.
Able to have its own thoughts and feelings inside the fucking womb.
You picked a real bad time to make this argument.
If you don't mind if I jump in, Polly. So that doesn't happen. So a mom doesn't wake up after she had her fucking baby shower. Oh, sorry. I don't know if I can curse on your show. After she had her baby shower and after she's gotten the crib all done and then wakes up and decides, I don't want to have this baby anymore. Late term abortions, if that's what you're referring to, caller, those are dealt with because there is a medical issue that the doctor and the patient, the mother, have come to terms with after many conversations, after having an amniocentesis test, after having all of these things, which I'm sure you don't even know what I'm talking about. Late term abortions do not happen. It doesn't happen. So you can think whatever you want to think, but it does not happen. If it is happening, it is because there is a medical reason. Either the baby's life is in danger. They find out the organs are going to be outside of the body. The skull hasn't developed. It could be a ton of different things that happen when there's cell division. Okay. But a mother is never waking up when her baby is moving in her belly and deciding, you know what, I'm going to wake up and go have an abortion. So I'm just going to leave it at that.
I could tell you one example right now. The famous YouTuber McJuggernuggets and his wife was literally 3 months pregnant, and she had her terminate the pregnancy because they found the baby had fucking was mentally ill with Down syndrome.
No.
Down syndrome.
No.
Hold on. Hold on. You said 3 months, so 12 weeks pregnant?
Okay.
Oh, hold on. You said 3 months, so 12 weeks pregnant?
3 months. 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 3 months
So he's talking about the YouTuber who they had an amniocentesis test. So at their first their first scan, they were told, and I don't believe did genetic testing till later on. So some couples don't do that, caller, just so you know. But this, I have a couple different takes on this because I have two children who are disabled, and I had an issue at 38 weeks pregnant where they said they didn't see my child's skull on the sonogram, and I was thrust into an early delivery. Okay. But this is not about me. The issue here is if it's not about the couple being able to make a decision with their medical team, then what are we doing? Everybody is given the knowledge and they have their doctors and they have their specialists. I don't believe that they woke up and made this decision without thinking it through, thinking how it would affect them in the future, thinking about maybe if they don't do this, will they not be able to have more children? There's a lot of different variables that go into play after you get a diagnosis like this. Then you have the amniocentesis test, which is a poke that goes directly into the sac with the baby in order to receive more information about how traumatic the deformities may be as the baby is going to be born. So the whole point is we're not in those people's shoes, so we can't judge them based on what they did. Do you think?
I just also want to add that you were just talking about like what colloquially is called, like a late term abortion, which isn't even a medical term. And then you mentioned somebody who's 12 weeks.
No, what I'm saying,
sorry,
right?
I want you to respond to Missy. I'm just saying that's crazy. I don't want you to respond to me. I want you to respond to Missy. I'm just saying, like, that's wild. But please.
Well, okay. First off, she assumed I was talking about late term. Sentience in a child is not late term. Like, the baby stops being a cell and starts becoming an embryo around the month mark, and actually starts having its own thoughts and fucking having a heartbeat. Okay, so. When's that
Wait, at
point
what
have a
weeks?
heartbeat? That's a life.
Wait, caller, at what weeks did you say? Because a lot of spontaneous abortions happen anywhere from 6 to 9 to 10 weeks, where the body decides that this pregnancy is not going to be viable.
And a lot of abortions are not done within that. Like there's many scenarios where abortions are done that are outliers. Not saying it's a majority, but a lot of them. For example, let's say a woman cheated on her man and got pregnant with the mistress she was cheating on him with, or the guy, whatever, and didn't know she was pregnant until last minute, and then she's feeling the symptoms, doesn't know how to get the abortion without the man finding out, all right,
how about you stop and breathe? Hey,
so
first of all,
waits and procrastinates it, puts it off.
Stop, breathe. Okay. You're making up a ridiculous hypothetical, and the hypothetical doesn't even make you don't have any proof it happened. You're literally just saying, what if a woman had a mistress and who's a man and fucking she got like, stop, dude. Okay, like this is crazy. Okay, you said sentience. When does sentience begin?
Around whenever the heartbeat starts, which is around the 3-month mark.
Around the 3-month mark. Incorrect. Okay. Consciousness is mainly located in the cortex. Consciousness cannot emerge before 24 weeks of gestation. Per PubMed right here, and I actually have the abstract up, so I can slap that on the screen for everybody to see. Hopefully, I can actually get it big enough right here. But it's usually between 24 and 26 weeks. Okay, so we're talking well before that. Now, what percentage of abortions happen before the 24-week mark?
I don't have the numbers on me.
I do.
Hand, but I do
99.1%.
The reason why we have laws in place is because there's been multiple cases of it happening.
Sir, I do have the numbers. Sir,
heartbeat.
Hello, is this thing on? Hey, perfect. Awesome. I do have the numbers. Okay, it's 99.1. Actually, those are conservative numbers, right? We do know that it's like 98.9% of all abortions happen before the 21st week. So well before, okay? And then you have a small percentage within the 21st to 24th week, and then it's almost none after that. And like Missy very eloquently said earlier, okay, the number that is happening after that is only the number of people that are under dire circumstances, right? Which is the only reason that our people are having any abortions prior to that sentient level. But now you're making an appeal to legality, right? And you're saying, well, we have laws because X and Y, Z exists. Okay, well, we had laws at a certain point in this country that made black people all slaves. Okay, are you saying that because it was a law, it was right? I didn't think so. Cool. So
you can't
obviously,
really compare the two. That's a red herring.
It's a red herring. You're the one that says that it's right. It's happening because it's legal, because there's laws against it, and you're calling mine a red herring.
Because morality.
Hold on. No.
It's been proven that the 12 weeks when they have a heartbeat, when they have a heartbeat, it's become a life.
You just said the words, okay, out of your mouth. I don't know. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're not in your own head enough. You just said the words. It's happening, and the reason we know that it's happening is because laws have states on it. You just said that, right?
Yeah, there's usually laws made
so I was
around
attacking your
legislation to
legal
resolve things
argument.
when it's happening.
You don't get to.
And the law has to catch up to make legislation
Sir. Thank you. I'm sorry. I maybe you didn't hear me talking. That's fine. I apologize. This really expensive microphone doesn't pick up my voice very well sometimes, so maybe you couldn't hear it. Sir, you don't get to call it a red herring if I'm arguing the legality of your argument that you made and then you tried to change it. You're trying to change it back. All right, I'm just muting you now. Shush. Stop talking in the middle of my sentence. Okay? You just made an appeal to legality. You don't get to call it a red herring after I argue it, okay? You're trying to jump back to an appeal to morality, okay? Which is a whole different argument. But the big thing is about this, and I think the most important thing about this, okay, is that you don't understand what you're talking about. Okay, you don't understand when sentience occurs. You don't understand when abortions are happening. You don't understand anything about what's going on with late-term abortions, and you're currently just making up hypotheticals that are non-existent according to the numbers, and then saying they're happening, and then appealing to legality about those things happening. Sir, what you're doing is being just a subject of fear-mongering. Right? Because the right and people that want to try to control women make these crazy arguments saying that all this wild stuff is happening, and it's not happening, but people like you believe it, and then they appeal to your emotion. Okay? And when you're presented with facts, you don't know how to deal with that because you're emotional about it. But if you listen, you might actually learn something, right? We have an amazing person on here who knows a lot more about this than I do, and you could probably learn a whole bunch.
So you think it's morally okay to kill something with a heartbeat?
Do you think it's morally okay to take someone off of life support if they're no longer sentient?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not. So you think that somebody that is completely brain dead should have to just stay on life support forever?
It's mainly a lot of people comas are considered brain dead, but then they have a chance of coming back.
So we should just keep everybody on coma off of on life support forever, huh?
Yeah, because they can come back.
Okay, well, why aren't you arguing against that? Why aren't you arguing for laws that do that, huh?
Because I'm not here to argue about comas or anything like that. I'm here to talk about fetuses, which is children.
Yeah. So first of all, people in comas aren't brain dead. So let's start there. I was talking about brain dead people, sir. If someone is brain dead with no chance of recovering due to brain injury,
a lot of people in the medical field could sometimes classify comas as brain dead.
Okay, that's not true. And listen to what I'm saying. Okay? If someone is brain dead due to a brain injury with zero chance of recovery, should we leave them on life support forever?
If there's zero fucking evidence of recovery, it's already a dead person.
No, it's not. They still have a heartbeat, according to you. So they're still alive. So we can't take them off life support.
If there's no recovery, it's a dead person.
But they have a heartbeat.
If their heartbeat is not able to be maintained without artificial third-party intervention, then it's a dead person.
Gotcha. So if a fetus's heartbeat can't be maintained without the host, then it's not a real person, not a live person. Sorry, without
the fetus is attached to the host.
Oh,
it's not
so
attached to some
so it needs
wires.
So it needs a third.
What are you talking about?
So it needs a third party in order to keep its heartbeat.
It's not a third party. It's a part of the fucking. It's merged with the person.
Wait, so then are you saying? Hold on, caller. So I thought the whole thing was that the fetus was separate from the mom. Are you saying the fetus needs the mom?
I never said the fetus is separate from the mom.
Really? So then you think that if the mom, or the host, as you call it, is providing for said fetus, don't you think the mom should be able to make the decision?
After it has a heartbeat, no, because if I can't go up to a kid who's already born, right?
Well, that's an Earthside child. That's not the same.
Because
Well, the difference is one has a social security number and the other one doesn't. That's the difference in our country, first of all. Second of all, one is Earthside, the other is not. You're talking about two completely different scenarios that are not the same.
Also, one has sentience, one does not. Also, which is what he claimed earlier.
Taking a life of a child, does it not?
Which is also you claimed that a requirement for sentience existed, and now apparently you don't care about that.
And isn't that around like the 20th week, anyways?
24th to 26th.
Yeah.
Some it has a heartbeat at the 12th week. When you have a heartbeat, you're considered a life.
Does a heartbeat equal sentience?
Yes, because you're then a human being.
Yes. Yeah, you really said yes. Sir, what is sentience?
What is sentience?
Yeah.
A human life is what sentience is. A human life.
A human life is what sentience is. You have no idea what sentience is, do you? If you don't,
you're a human
that's
life
okay,
your own heartbeat, because then once you have a heartbeat, you're then able to evolve into that sentience.
How old did you say you were? Just out of curiosity. I'm sorry. I just forgot. I'm not trying to, how old did you say you were?
I am 19.
19. Okay. Mr. 19-year-old. Okay. I'm going to give you a little piece of life advice from an old man. Okay?
Okay.
We learn a lot more by asking questions than we do pretending like we don't know, like we know shit that we don't. Okay? You don't know anything of what you're talking about here, right? So you keep making this claim that somehow heartbeat equals sentience, but you don't know what sentience is, so you can't possibly make that claim. Okay? Make sense? So how about we do a little learning here?
Hey, did you voice Mr. Mackey? You say "okay" a lot, like after every sentence you say it.
Okay. Does that hurt your feelings?
Well, no, I'm just saying,
okay,
bro.
Then shut the fuck up, okay?
You're so educated. You're trying to talk condescending to me, right? Like you're this wise,
no,
elegant
I was actually trying to teach you something. Something I wish your parents had done, but I'll do it, okay?
Every call you had.
Nobody cares about your feelings. I'm trying to teach you something, little guy. Shh. Shh.
And also...
Okay? It's okay, little guy. All right? Good job. We got you there. Okay?
Okay.
All right, perfect. I understand. Hey, John. When dumb people are getting worked in conversations, they move to ad homs about my language. Okay? So you're just showing that you're an idiot. But while you're over here being dumb, trying to make attacks on me personally, because you're too stupid for this conversation, I would like to educate other people, if that's all right.
Wait, too stupid to... It's not...
All right. Anyways, sentience is the basic capacity to feel, perceive, or experience subjective phenomenon such as pain, pleasure, and emotion. Okay. Do you experience any of those things with a heartbeat?
It doesn't matter whether you do or don't, legally and medically.
Oh my fucking God. Sir, if you said that a heartbeat is equal to sentience, I am asking you, does a heartbeat give you sentience? Does it give you the capacity to feel and perceive things such as pain, pleasure, and emotion? Do you get emotion from your heart?
If you're having a heartbeat, you could probably feel pain, yeah.
Where did you get your information from, caller? Like, honestly, like, where did you get your information from? I'm just wondering.
Oh, Trump.com.
Do you think it's too late to raise the voting age?
Because
I've talked to
a great argument why women should.
Oh, don't!
I muted him. Don't worry about it. I muted him. We're not even hearing that. I don't even know what he was about to say. Women shouldn't do, but whatever it is, I'm not going to listen to it. I think after the last two 19-year-olds we had, I think this is proof that we should raise the voting age to 21 or maybe 25. I don't fucking know. 30. Jesus Christ, they're not even close. Anyways.
Okay, so let me ask him about mandatory vasectomies. Is he there or did you kick him?
Oh, I was about to kick him after he was about to say what women can't do. I have another
He's
person
just going
to
to
talk
tell
to.
me not to speak, which is the perfect reason. So I want to know if I can have control over his body autonomy. Would he be cool with that?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, they shouldn't vote. Look at Bonnie Blue wants to have a fucking baby
Okay,
shower
hello?
of being
Hello? Shh.
Yeah, I'm
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I'm
Eyes on
dropping him.
me.
I'm dropping him.
Okay.
Sorry, he's not staying up on my live.
Like,
He's an
he's just
idiot. The only
an
person that
incel.
should have had a vasectomy was his dad. Okay, like Jesus fucking Christ, that dude is all the fries short of a Happy Meal, dude. Anyways, y'all, make sure y'all hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate that. Make sure you guys are following Missy, who's down here joining me for a little bit also.
Thank you.
So really appreciate you guys all being here. If you guys like to support the live, do the live gift goal. Got gift galleries. Make sure you're taking care of Missy down there also. And as we move on to the next caller and do all the things that are good. Do all the things that are good. Watch my podcast. It's out everywhere. First thing on my link tree, so you can go check it out. Make sure you guys go watch that. And there's another episode coming out on Friday. So we're gonna keep that going. If you guys like support, like I said, I do have the live gift goal. Got a little whale diving going on over there. Courtney, thank you so much for. Was that? There's been a bunch of people lighting up stuff off my gift gallery. I know Ryan was the mustache hat and mustaches. I think there might have been. Oh no! Oh, that was lighting up Missy's. That's perfect. That's awesome. So if you guys like support, really appreciate that. Also, super chats and all that fun stuff too. So, lovely goddess, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said, how about they learn the anatomy of the female body before debating on abortion? How about they should actually like see a female body in person that's not their mom before we go any further than that? All right, like that's not on on the internet. All right, like maybe
it has to be in person. Yeah. They have to understand where the things are, where things go, all of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of education that needs to happen, right? Like you should they're so bad. Anyways, yes, I agree, lovely goddess. I agree that they should have they need lots of information from somebody. Somebody's got to teach them. It shouldn't be me, okay? And it's not going to be Missy either. But somebody needs to teach them something. All right.
That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Scott, thank you so much. I said, why YT edits the hell out of text? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Also, Tara, thank you so much. Big W's to chat for Tara for that whale diving, knocking that out. Really, really appreciate that. Huge W's to chat for Tara for that. And for Lovely Goddess with the super chat. If you guys would like to support and want to send super chats, gifts, anything like that, I like to throw them up on the screen, talk about them, hang out. Missy, are you on YouTube by any chance?
I am.
What's your name over there?
Yeah, it's all in my link tree. It should just be Missy in the Streets, I'm pretty sure. And I have a podcast as well, so you can go and check out mine. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, my people that are listening to me on YouTube can't see your link tree because you're on
TikTok. No.
So why don't you
I didn't know we were double
streaming.
streaming. Okay.
Yeah, we're on live right now. So if you want to go and just say Missy in the Streets, so it's Missy in the Streets over on YouTube too.
It is with the Z in the streets.
Yeah, with Missy with a Z in the Streets. Go check her out over there.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you're liking the content. So, also Courtney, thank you so much for clearing those corgis out. I really appreciate that. Also, we're gonna move on to the next caller. You know what? I'm gonna bring up before I bring up the next caller. I'm gonna bring up Jacob. How you doing,
Jacob?
Hi, Jacob.
No, just kidding.
Wow, Missy, that's deep.
Dude, Jacob.
I'm just coming by to say hi. Missy shared the live with me, so I love the topic. I think it's a fair question to ask because for people that watch my lives, I swear to God, like that's all people talk about now is AB and trans people. It's all this useless culture war bullshit that just shouldn't even be an argument. Because, like, I feel whatever your feelings on AB is, you shouldn't think that a woman should have their bodily autonomy, right, violated. Like, you can think whatever you want in your personal life, but, I mean, it's ridiculous to me. So, I I think it was a great topic and a good question to ask.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, we usually get on the topic of bodily autonomy because we're talking about abortion, but nobody wants their bodily autonomy violated, right? Like, just period. Like, under any circumstances, whether it's, whether it has to do with abortion care or whether it has to do with any other care, right? Nobody, regardless of the medical procedure or whatever is going on, and regardless of which gender you fall into, should have their bodily autonomy violated for any reason. This is something that the government should just be staying out of. That's why I think, I said, like, the things like the vasectomy argument are so important, because it just shows that nobody wants their bodily autonomy violated in that way. And I don't think that the government should have a hand in that in any way, shape, or form.
And what's even more crazy to me is you'd think that would be a conservative/libertarian belief, that the government should not be telling somebody what to do with their body. But I think it just goes to show that whatever they call conservative values don't actually exist, and it's all just bullshit.
Agree. I couldn't agree more. Well, thanks for coming up for a second, Jacob. We'll have to have you up another time, man. I don't want to fill up the panel too much over here, but
Hi, Jacob.
No worries. Just come by to say hi.
Yeah, have a good one, man. Bye.
Jacob's the 19-year-old that you can actually have the conversation with, that actually, it is viewing things the way you should be. However, I will say he's like a diamond in the rough, because you look what's happening with 19-year-olds. And when you were 19 and when I was 19, I wouldn't be coming up having conversations over someone's body autonomy and trying to control. I mean, it's just crazy what these kids are doing. I don't know who, unless it's T-Pussa, I don't know who's infiltrating their heads to get them to think this way. That's the only thing I can think.
I will tell you this: when I was 19, that was about the last thing on my mind. And I was 19, so I bet you guys can guess what the first thing on my mind was. But regardless of that, it definitely wasn't trying to control anybody else. I'll tell you that much. Scott, I think he's supposed to 2R, said Culler's mom should have a late term abort, like a 19-year abortion.
My God.
So, like a super extra late term, right around 19. Hey, you know what? Maybe that'll happen one day. All right, let's see who we got over here. Thank you, Scott. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I used to.
I used to too. Is that like the Mitch Hedberg? I used to do drugs. I still do, but I used to too. One of those.
No, I don't anymore. I just wanted to tell you I really appreciate what you're doing, and I think it's cool to watch somebody. When I used to watch you, I never called. I was just I immediately just got angry. It was kind of crazy. But now I kind of shifted to I think we got politics all wrong. I feel like both sides are just equally terrible. Do you feel that way or no?
Nah, not even in the ballpark. Not even close. Not even a little bit. Not even half a little bit. Yeah. This is not a matter of both sides are bad. This is and oh Jesus, I just unplugged my headphones a little bit. Oh, that was annoying. So, and I'll be honest with you, and this is not to try to trash you or your position, but I'm gonna be honest with you. The only people that are saying this whole both sides are bad argument are people that did support Trump and then don't anymore. Right?
Okay.
That's the only people I hear it from. Okay. And the reason for that is because and this is how it feels to me. I'm not saying that it's 100% true, but this is how it feels to me, right? It feels to me like people that voted for Trump are trying to justify their vote by, instead of just saying, I made a bad decision, it was, well, I didn't have a choice because both sides were bad. And that's not the truth, right? The truth is, all right, that Kamala Harris very, very much cared about this country, all right, was incredibly highly intelligent, and would have made very good decisions for this country. Even if she made some bad ones, all right, the bar for her was much, much higher. Like the low bar, the floor was much, much higher. And she would have started from a spot of intelligence, of education, of public service, of giving, right? Not of personal gain like Donald Trump. Donald Trump came from a place of only caring about personal gain, only cared about money, only cared about enriching himself, and could easily be bought off, and was a fraudster. And he's showing that he's doing all of those things right now. So it's really not a matter of both sides are bad, right? Now, are there some bad people on the left? Absolutely. Are there some bad people in the Democratic Party? Absolutely. And I'm not saying that. I think that can be said for any group of people, period, no matter what, right? Like no group of people has 100% all good people, all people that are trying to do right, right? But at that same time, all right, it's kind of like saying that like hey, there was a toddler who stole a Snickers bar, and then the guys who robbed the Louvre, and then just saying, well, everybody steals. Well, I mean, technically, I guess you're right, but it's kind of levels to this shit, right? And so yes, there are some things. There are some things that Kamala Harris said that like I don't agree with, right? But that's the toddler stealing the candy bar. You know what I'm saying? And so we don't say it's bad on both sides when we compare it to the guys who robbed the Louvre.
Let me say this though. I mean, have you like kept up with all the Epstein file stuff and what they're doing over there?
I think I've kept up with it pretty decent. I mean, we started an entire war to distract from it, so.
All right. So like that was just like all politicians. It wasn't like left or right. It was just like all of them. And
That's not true.
What's not true?
It wasn't left and right. Are you talking about in the files or how they're handling the files? Because this whole administration worked to say the files literally disappeared off of Pam Bondi's desk, or Scam Bondi. Let me fix that for you. So the Democrats worked tirelessly within the oversight committee to try to get and hold people accountable to get justice for these survivors. And the Republicans worked tirelessly to stop that. Michael Johnson, I think they've been on so many vacations so that they could avoid swearing in people that would be able to, get the discharge petition to go. So you can't say that it's both parties.
And if you're talking about people like inside of the files, like if that's what you're talking about, then the only politician that you have on the left is Bill Clinton, which first of all, I don't think anybody like was confused that Bill Clinton was a creep. Like, I don't think that was like a real like hidden thing. And second of all, he stood and went to Congress and testified in front of Congress, and his wife did too. And they really didn't find anything. I think he was mentioned twice in the entire files or something like that. I think they counted Donald Trump at like 100,000.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was up there.
Yeah, I mean, like,
yeah, I mean,
like again, like there's levels to this. That's all I'm saying. Like,
I guess so, but like I just feel like you can't be so like, oh, this is the right side. It's hard for me to really.
Well, that's because you're seeing the side that you voted for just basically fail at everything they said they were going to do because they conned you into it, right? Because the Democrats, although here's the difference, caller, we can definitely say when the Democratic Party is not doing what we want it to do. I believe there's a lot of feckless losers in our Congress that are not doing what the people in the working class need. I think there should be dinosaur limits for people in Congress. I think there's people, if you have a life alert, if you have dementia shoes, if you have handlers, then you shouldn't be trying to decide if we need help with our education, our public schools, our healthcare, whatever, right? But at the same time, if you're talking about who's done more harm in our country currently, it is through the Republican Party. The Democratic Party is trying to hold together the social programs that this administration is gutting left and right.
Yeah, and just to add to that, like we're not like when you're talking about the sides right now, certainly like the sides right now are like democracy or non-democracy, human rights or not human rights. Even if you have like conservative views, if you've been a conservative for like your entire life you voted Republican primarily, if you believe in things like human rights, you can't possibly watch the things that are going on in like in Dilley in Texas or Delaney Hall in New Jersey or Alligator Alcatraz, people, that being held for months and months and months, over 6 9 months, without due process, without potable water, without running water in some cases, without food, without with worms in food. You can't look at that and go like, oh, well, this is a right or a Democrat versus Republican thing. This is a belief in human rights or not, right? Like if you really believe that the United States should be taking care of the United States, which I do, right? I believe that diplomacy and foreign policy is very important, but you can't look at things
For
like the
sure.
Iran war and go and make that a Democrat versus Republican thing. That is what's right for America and what's wrong for America. That's it.
Okay. I don't know. I hear everything you're saying, and I don't know. It's hard for me to believe like it's all the right doing everything bad and the left just some bad and not a lot of bad. I really do think it's like a us versus them situation. I think it's straight up like good versus evil, and the evil is just politicians and central banking systems and like just all that stuff. And I feel like most people should feel that way.
Well, no, I don't. Well, sir, maybe you could talk about that from a full historical context, right? And say that. But for right now, no, it's not, right? Right now,
Okay.
it is a Republican held House. It is a Republican held Senate. Okay. It is a Republican held presidency. It is a conservative Supreme Court. And almost every single vote is going at party lines. So literally
Okay.
everything that's being voted on right now, it's not the left and the right all getting together to vote for, not checking the president like war powers. That's just the right. That's it. It's not the left is voting to use their congressional power to check, Donald Trump's war powers. The right is saying no, we're not doing that. The left voted over and over and over and over and over and over to release the unredacted Epstein files. The right blocked it until they got like a couple Republicans that finally folded, voted to actually force the release, and then that still people like Mike Johnson won't actually enforce the release of those files. So if you want to talk about it from like a historical context through the entire 250 years of the country and go, well, the left and the right have both done bad things, fine, but we're not talking about that right now. Right now, it is the right in control of all three branches of the government, and the right is the one that's causing all of these problems. It's not a mix of the left and the right, unless you consider people like John Fetterman on the left, right? Which I don't. But, like, unless you consider somebody like that, or somebody like, Tulsi Gabbard, who claims to be a Democrat, who never really was, or like RFK, who claims to be was a Democrat, but never actually was, right? If you claim like those, like, few little outliers, I guess that's fine.
Like, when you say like never actually was, like what do you mean? Like they said they were and they just didn't.
RFK Jr. is a perfect example. His entire family came out and said he does not agree with us. He is completely off the walls. He is not like a Democrat. He is not part of us whatsoever. We've literally just disowned him.
Okay.
Like that's the Kennedys saying that he's not part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like Fetterman got in there and just votes with Republicans to do all the same stuff. But unfortunately for people in Pennsylvania, they had the choice between him and Dr. Oz. So I guess, like, I don't know what the hell they were supposed to do, but like, it's just like, yeah, there's a few little outliers, that claim to be Democrats or claim to be for these things, and they're off, right? But the majority of the Democrats, and they're fighting against these things. The majority of the Democrats are fighting to, have, humane treatment of migrants, who are fighting for, ACA subsidies to keep, people's health care down, or fighting for, things like the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. Those are things that the left has been fighting for like forever, right? Like, and they were able to sneak stuff in because of that, right? So these are things that the left is fighting for. And like I said, I'm not saying that everything the left does is perfect, right? Like I hate the gerontocracy. I hate the, the push towards being so moderate that they lose sight of everything. And on the other hand, I hate the complete concentration on every special interest that ever exists. I hate that the left, in recent years has done things like fund Israel when I don't agree with it. There's plenty of stuff on the left that I disagree with, right? Especially when it comes to the Democratic Party. Yeah, I 100%, I disagree with some things that are happening with the Democratic Party, but when you put them in comparison, it's really not a comparison,
Okay.
Can I jump in for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
So okay, so I kind of want to approach it a little different with you. So it seems like you're unhappy. You obviously aren't getting, what you thought you were getting from this president, correct?
No.
So you're not happy.
It's all right. I'm wondering like how y'all think about things because it's just interesting.
Well, do you think everything's going well in this country?
No, not at all. I think that like people they put too much weight on like their political views, and I feel like if the Democratic Party was in control of everything that the Republican Party was in control of, like there would still be like a ton of fucked up shit you could find. You know what I mean? And
no, see that's not true though, but we've already explained to you that that's not true because the Republicans work to pass legislation or EOs or whatever that are hurting our country. The Democrats are not in favor of, defunding and taking away WIC and SNAP benefits to 2.5 million American children. The Democrats are not trying to cancel USAID. In fact, they didn't want Doge coming in and doing what they did. So you can't sit there and say the same thing. But if you are admitting that you are unhappy with the state of the country, which you should be, because it's terrible what this man has done to our country and will continue to do, because if you don't vote come the midterms because you feel, oh, it's a bigger issue, it's, whatever, you're missing the point. This is our Hail Mary. This is where we have to come together collectively for the greater good in order to gain some control back so we can put Mango Mussolini's hands behind his back and we can try to fix some things because it's going to take about 50 years to undo all of the stuff that he's done in this country. But what we can slowly do is gain back some sort of control for the Democratic left side. And then we can look at what policies are better, what people we need out, what money should be out of, Congress and stuff like that. But I think if you're truly unhappy and you're saying that and you mean that, then you should put your money where your mouth is and do something about it. Don't just sit here and say, well, now I'm not happy with how things are going, even though I voted this way. So I'm just not going to do anything about it because it's a bigger issue. Be a part of fixing the issue, right?
Right. Okay. I see what you're saying, but I don't know. It's hard for me to say like, oh yeah, we could fix this, and then like, let's say the plan happens, right? We get the Democrats in control and everything. Like, to say that there's not going to be a lot of mistakes and things happen that a lot of people aren't going to like on both sides, it sounds a little silly to me, like every time.
Oh, we're not trying to fix anything though, sir.
There's always going to be like a lot of problems because. But
sir, I think you're confused. We're not trying to fix anything. The things that Donald Trump has already done are going to affect us for the next 2 decades. Yeah. Like we're not trying to fix anything. Yeah, we're not trying to fix anything, sir. We're trying to do damage control. We're trying to stop the bleeding.
Like harm reduction at this point.
Yeah, like it's not a matter of fixing the problem, right? Like we would need a super majority in both houses along with a Democratic president to even start to try to undo some of the things that have happened, right? Like we're not even close to that, right? We're just in harm reduction. That's the only thing we're trying to do right now. You vote in the midterms to make sure that there is a body of the government, because the legislative branch right now is not putting a check on the executive branch. We have three supposedly co-equal branches of government, right? Right now, the legislative branch has, up until like very recently, has pretty much just gave all of their power away to the executive. That's not how it's supposed to work. The Supreme Court because he's put in so many judges, has done a lot of the exact same thing. They have ceded a lot of their power to the president, right? We need a branch of government that is going to put a check on politics. That doesn't mean bring everything to a screeching halt. That means that the president just can't do whatever the fuck he wants all the goddamn time, and at the expense of the American people without any recourse, right? And that's what we need the legislative branch to do. We need the legislative branch to do that. And that's what you're doing by voting in the midterms. You're not fixing anything. You're just stopping the bleeding until we can actually get politicians in that can start to put things back together. But I'll probably be a grandpa before, before things are actually hopefully turned back around. But if we don't stop the
you're
train,
right.
if we don't stop the train now, then it's just there's things that are just going to be irreversible, right? Like this is how hegemonies fall. Like it's stuff like this which is how hegemonies fall, like truthfully.
Well, and it's almost like if, and quite possibly you understood pattern recognition, you may not have voted the way you did, and you may have seen that this was the trajectory we were headed towards. That's why a lot of us didn't vote for this man, because we knew and saw what he was planning and what was going to happen. Now, I can honestly say it has happened a lot faster than I could have ever imagined. It feels like whiplash every day. And that's why it's going to take so much longer to undo all of it. But if you're truly unhappy, if you're saying to yourself, like, wow, this isn't good, all these things are the prices are more than he said they were going to be. Healthcare is too expensive. Schools are closing. I don't know how old you are if you have kids, but this is going to impact my children, right? This is going to impact people. I'm a millennial ish, older, but a lot of people I know and where our children are at in this country right now, it's going to affect them as they become adults. That's when it's going to affect them. So I'm trying to do everything I can to reduce that harm that they will have to deal with. And if you care about this country, like a lot of you patriots claim to do, that you voted for Donald Trump, then you should say what he's doing is wrong and I need to help in that manner. Don't just sit back and not do anything. That's the worst thing you could do.
I can get behind that. It's just hard to know like what to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so much. It feels like a lot of pressure, I guess, even though my one vote isn't really going to matter. At the.
It does matter. Don't say that.
It does.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. It does.
That's just such a hard thing to hear. And we're in Florida, right, Polly? And I talk to a lot of people around here when I do bring up politics and stuff, and I try to be very careful because of the area I'm in. But a lot of people are just like, you know what? What's the point? It's fixed. It doesn't matter. Everything's going to be what it's going to be. My little vote, that doesn't matter. It absolutely does. And you know why, caller? Because if your vote, my vote, Polly's vote, everybody listening's vote didn't matter, this administration wouldn't be working so hard to take that vote away from you in every which way and form, because undocumented immigrants are not the issue to why they want the Save America Act. They want to control the voting rolls of Americans. So they want to take your vote. And that should be a red flag to anyone.
David, I'm going to go ahead and drop you down. And sorry, unless you got something else, man. If you got something else to say, go ahead.
No. I just wanted to appreciate the time and the explanations, and I understand where all your heads are at.
Yeah, man.
And I just wish you all the best in life.
I hope you. I wish you the best too. All right, man.
Yeah.
And stick around. Listen to the channel for a bit. All right, dude. Yeah, no, and that is a frustrating thing too. And Missy, like, we were like, "Oh, my vote doesn't matter." It's like, yeah, like, dude, there's a reason why they're trying to seize voter rolls. There's a reason why they try to pass legislation. There's a reason or seize. Pass legislation like the SAVE Act. There's a reason why they do these things, right? Because your vote matters, and they try to convince you that it doesn't. And even more than just your vote mattering, when it comes to federal elections, your vote matters even more when it comes to your local elections, your state elections. Like people win elections in state elections by thousands of votes, like singular thousands. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, it's super important. And I think that there's been such a stigma with voting for so long, and then you have the complications of how people get to vote. If there's anything I can say, it's like, and I say this all the time on my stream, is like, please check your registration, talk to your neighbors, talk to your family members, whoever, just make sure you're registered. They are taking people off these rolls very randomly. We saw it happen in Texas when people went to primary. And so you just have to make sure you're ready and you understand that. And I say this, it's a Hail Mary. We are at that point right now. When they talk about, we're going to have ICE at the polling locations, we're doing this, it's all intimidation because they're scared. They see the pendulum swinging, and we need to keep the momentum going. Because if I just fear that they get the 2/3 majority, like Mike Johnson has, been squalling about, and they're going to uproot and change our Constitution and the trajectory of this country for the foreseeable future. It will absolutely change.
100%. 100%. I completely agree. But hey, y'all, I'm going to get off the night. I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie. I was out there in the sun playing tennis for like hours. So I'm tired, and so I'm gonna get off tonight. I am gonna be back on tomorrow. First of all, make sure you guys follow Missy, like I said before. W's in the chat for Missy for coming up and joining me for a day. We'll definitely have to have Missy back on very, very soon if you're interested, for sure.
Thank you so much. I'll go ahead and drop down. Thank you. And
well, don't drop down yet. They're following you.
Okay.
Don't drop down yet. They're following you. So
well, I'm hoping that maybe I've been a big fan of yours. So I feel it's so honored that I'm up here being able to have these discussions with you. But I'd love to have you on my podcast. So maybe we can talk off and see if I can get you as a guest on my podcast. That'd be great.
Would love to do it. Absolutely. For sure. W's in the chat for Missy. All right. Yeah, absolutely. No, just hit me up. Send me a message. All right, cool. Yeah, I'll be on. So said Missy looks good. There you go. You got a crush in the chat there, Missy. Yeah, that was a chat for Missy. I'll be more than happy to be on your podcast. Yeah, that'd be fun. Someone says too short. Guys, you got to show up for the whole thing. There was like no one in here for the first hour of my live. It was all like no one was in here. I'll be back on tomorrow at 7 Central, which means y'all come in at 7 Central and come hang out. Then we get more conversations too. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 Central. I believe Nola is gonna be back on my live tomorrow. We're gonna have Nola for like the whole live tomorrow. So yeah, make sure you guys are there. It'll be fun. I will see you guys later. Thank you guys so much for the support. Oh, before we leave, sorry, Lovely Goddess, thank you so much for the $5. It's like they have Stockholm Syndrome when criticizing Republicans, not making a joke. I noticed the lack of accountability for the right. Yeah, they definitely do have a lot of that, for sure. It does feel like Stockholm Syndrome, for sure. And Corona said, not the same politics girl would appreciate if you play it for the stream, Polly. I don't know. Not the same politics girl. I think they're referencing a video. I do have to be very careful about putting videos on there because I keep getting copyright infringement stuff on YouTube. So I think you're hearing a video, and I don't know if I can play it or not. But I'll take a look at it. Maybe I'll play it. Maybe I'll play another day. Scott, thank you for the just Scott's just over here just shit talking. You mean Johnson's holiday with Grinder? Yeah, when he's off. Also, thank you so much, BT, Peach, Vivian, Dizzy, Lay, Zoe. Thank you guys all so much for the gifts also. And everybody that sent over on TikTok too that I missed, I apologize. I don't get to see it as clearly over there, so I apologize. But thank you, everyone. See you guys tomorrow. Love you guys.